Hey YouTube, I need to get a bunch of house projects done. The one I really want to get done right now is the pantry. We have a little pantry here and we haven't actually even unpacked all the food from the last house. So we have a box in the guest room of food that I haven't even put out yet. I have done zero prep. I'm just going to show you what we have going on to start with, and you'll watch me through my whole process. Right now we keep food in a couple different places in the kitchen. Up here we have a liquor cabinet. These long cabinets are like the standard pantry. In here I keep spices and things I use for the stove. Down here we have a place where we can keep like oils and stuff, but I'll show you that in more detail. It's pretty neat, but also sort of short, so it's hard to fit a lot of our oils and things in there. Here's what we're using as kind of like a spice cabinet, and then here is the pantry. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually like pretty deep. Now I'm touching the back wall. Yeah, so pretty deep. Oh wait, I have to show you the box of food. And here is the giant box of food. I think what makes sense to do is to start by taking out all the food from all of the nooks and crannies and from the big box and taking it all out and putting it on the tables and then sorting it by category. I think that's what I'm going to start with. Counters. I didn't take out the spices because I feel like they'll probably stay there or around there. We have a ton of food. We are very, very lucky to be able to have this much food in our house. I'm going to show you everything set out in my like quasi categories. Then I'll show you the empty shelves. Here's a quick overview. So here we have canned foods, and behind that is snacks or things that you can eat right away. Back there we have oils and sauces, quick prep foods, foods that need other ingredients to be a full meal, breading, baking stuff. Back here I have more jars, but here's all the kind of organizational things that I have. Here we have other food seasonings, spices, rice, pasta, and I like to make a lot of Asian inspired foods, so that's kind of what everything back here is about. Oops, totally forgot to unload this guy. So that is empty. This is mostly empty. And then this deep pantry is empty. So one thing I've decided is I do want to try to get all of my kind of like cooking oils or cooking sauce type things into this organizer by the oven. I am going to take our canola oil and put it in a glass jar that I have. That way it'll fit. Always double check that you have the top first, and I do. Oil. I just ran over to our garbage / recycling pile, and I dug through it to find this box and this box. I love the idea of keeping boxes, but then I end up keeping a ton of them and not using them, and that's frustrating. But then there are moments like this where all of a sudden you realize you could really use a little organizer and you don't have one, and then bam, the box comes in handy. Let me show you what I'm using it for. I am working on the spice / seasoning cabinet, and it makes sense to my brain to put the, what are they called? The extracts and food coloring up here, because we aren't gonna have a kind of stereotypical baking cabinet. Sugar and flour and all that stuff goes into non-baked goods too. So to me, it makes sense to put those up there. I'll take this camera box and look, I just set in the extracts, whoops, set in the food coloring. All it needs is a label, fits beautifully, we're all set. Now I'm gonna go through and collect stuff that we normally put in our snack box. Here's the snack basket as it is. There's lots of extra room because right now we don't have the number of bulk snacks that we normally have. So in thinking about how to organize my pantry, I am trying to basically accomplish two things. One, I'm a very out of sight, out of mind person, so I want to try to see as many of the foods that we could eat on a daily basis right when I open the pantry to be my inspiration for meals, because if it's hidden at all, I'll forget we have it, or I won't think to use it, and I'll end up rebuying things and not using what we have. And number two, I'm all about being able to just reach in and grab something. I don't like the idea of having to take things out of a stack. So having to take out 5 cans to get the 1 can in the back that you need. And I feel like that's gonna be difficult with a deep pantry. So I need to figure out what we use the most and then figure out how to put it in there in a way that works for us. Let's look at an overview. So in here, in the front right here, we have things for breakfast, just so it's easy to grab. Right behind it, we have all of our pastas, and this is in a box. So I can just scoot the breakfast over here and pull out the box. Not perfect, but it'll do. Back there, we have just like 2 aseptic packages of, one is almond milk and the other one is veggie broth. And then canned foods, honey up here. Down here we have kind of like the back stock hot sauce, dried beans in the back, breading, instant soups. This is all like Asian dry ingredients, mostly noodles, some like rice paper wrappers. Down here, it's definitely a little bit dark back here, but this is our snack basket. So you just pull it out and there's a bunch of different snacks in there. And this is like pre-made, ready-made box type foods. We don't eat a lot of these anymore, but we still have some. So those are in there. And then down here we have a ton of rice, our flour, protein powder that I couldn't figure out where else to put it, and all of our different sugars and instant breakfast stuff right there. Down here, this is in, I'll back up a little bit. This is in our cabinet right by the stove. These are our spices. Up there we have extra salt, bouillon stuff, and rubs. That's also where like taco seasoning will go, because we don't just use it for tacos. And at the very top, we have food coloring and extracts in there, cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, and back stock of baking soda behind that. And in here, we have all of our different cooking oil with an extra dark soy sauce on the bottom. But that's the pantry. It did not take that long. I think getting everything, all the food out and organizing it into piles and putting it away, I think altogether it took like 2.5 hours. That's with breaks to watch TV a little bit, play with the dogs, and pick up the camera or move the camera. I am so excited that I did it. It's done. The big box is empty. And it wasn't super hard. I think the key is taking everything out and organizing it by category and looking at all of your organizational tools at once and thinking about using them in a different way and not trying to just replicate what you had at the old house. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I definitely have a lot more videos coming to you, but if I'm honest, maybe not exactly every day. Maybe more like every other day. We'll see. Especially because school's gonna start soon. Yikes. All right, guys, if you liked it, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.